on to week 2. Before I even begin talking about the second week of the Second Chance tournament, I wanted to take one quick look at the videos posted about the contestants. Almost all were the same somber sepia tone except for one, Jack Weller. The tiebreaker category was history. I already talked about him in my Jeopardy tiebreakers video, and I did not expect him to get a second chance. In this advanced tomb, Brian answered, "Who is Lenin?" and won that game. He won a 4-day total of $88,102. I actually like the sepia tone because it's reminiscent of old films set in the South.
Simple thing. When you match your opponent, clue for clue, dollar for dollar.
Speaking of old films,
Jeopardy, you're still deadlocked.
I had to take a look at the Sarah Snyder and Sadie Goldberger ones because I couldn't imagine what the narrator would say. It rekindled the memories for both. I still wish Citizen Kane was never made.
I've never seen Citizen Kane.
Let's be honest, a lot of us pretend we have.
Wait a minute. What's this?
Bring me back. Second chance.
Second Chance? This looks like an unreleased overheard on set. Why would they play the clip now? I would like to see the rest of this overheard on set. Especially since Sarah didn't seem as sad as she was when she said I'd never seen Citizen Kane. Because then maybe I wouldn't feel as bad for her if I did see the whole thing. Even though it is 30 seconds at most. And the narrator said Sadie should have won and didn't, all because she didn't write the end.
So she forgot the end.
She forgot the end?
Be involved in some more...
That has a completely different implication than what actually happened. Or at least according to the Jeopardy judges of what actually happened. I'm pretty sure Harriet Tubman herself would have agreed the answer should have been accepted. Unfortunately, I saw Sarah's and Sadie's first. Since Jack's was posted first, I wonder if I thought the music would be different for all of them. The second week of the Second Chance tournament is crucial. After Friday, we'll know the complete roster for the tournament champions. Let's see which of the 3 returning champions will advance as finalists. Night 1, the contestants consist of Sadie Goldberger, Jeff Smith, Sarah Snyder. I saw that Sarah and Sadie were playing the same night, and I didn't know who to root for. It's just so difficult because besides their final Jeopardy rounds being the most difficult to watch, I wish Citizen Kane was ever made, and I wish Jeopardy had more consistent rules on the writing when the judges accepted less legible and less complete responses. I can't stress this enough. Ken Jennings' instruction was, "Welcome everyone to the second week of our first ever Jeopardy Second Chance competition. Last week we saw Jessica Stevens secure her spot in the tournament of champions, but you know what? There's one empty spot remaining. And this week, we're going to find out who that will be. It'll be the player who wins their initial Second Chance game, then advances to the finals, and emerges as the victor in that 2-game total point affair, Thursday and Friday. It's going to be an exciting week of games." One of the categories was cereal, which we'll get to in a minute. One of the other categories was children's literature. Remembering Sarah as a teacher, I'm sure she'll run this category and be as dominant as she was last time. Once she selected children's literature, I thought, I knew it. Unfortunately, that was not the case. Wait, are there people who actually believe Curious George had a tail? I thought that was a made-up example to defy the Mandela effect. Arthur Rostron captained this ship that rescued 705 Titanic survivors, including the unsinkable Molly Brown. The answer was Carpathia, which was also the answer to the final Jeopardy question on Amy Schneider's 21st game. Speaking of repeated answers, Jeff got the first daily double, risked $1,000. Unfortunately, answered wrong and went down to negative $400. Captain Preston was acquitted for his part in this March 5th, 1770 event. It couldn't be proved he'd ordered British troops to fire. The answer was obviously the Boston Massacre. Now, why was this so obvious? Well, besides the date, March 5th, 1770, this is just recycled from the first daily double in Christine Welch's third game. Ken asked Sadie how she prepared for Jeopardy. She answered her husband had been helping her best strategically. Ken asked Jeff what his first show was like. He answered, I was right at the juncture of our 2 very good hosts, so I was filming with Maya and Bialik, and I knew that if I could win that game and come back, you would be here the next taping day, and unfortunately, I didn't get that chance, and I thought I missed one, but here you are, here I am, and I'm super happy to be back. Both hosts, yeah. I love his enthusiasm. I love how much he admires both Maya and Ken. Ken asked Sarah, if you're a teacher, what was your students' response to seeing you on Jeopardy? She answered, they were very supportive. We actually had an assembly and we all watched it on the big screen together. They like to share fun facts with me, so if TikTok celebrities comes up, I'm ready. Ken told her, we'll see if there's any TikTok celebrities. I feel bad for Sarah. The whole school watched that one game. A lot of those kids got Mate as the first super champion they witnessed. I wonder how she felt after she took that in, assuming she watched Sarah in the second chance tournament. And TikTok celebrities? First off, can they even be called celebrities? Second, what could they possibly do to be on Jeopardy questions? There haven't been any YouTube celebrities, if they could even be called that. The cereal category was way too easy. And I don't even mean easy as in I was able to answer them, so that makes them easy. I mean, they were just the names of cereals and not the history, which I would have expected. Sarah ended the first round winning $5,600. Yes! Sadie was in second place at $3,600, and Jeff was in third place at $3,000. Close game. I like how there's a math class category when there are two teachers playing today. I actually thought the C band lyrics would have been harder for me to answer. Turns out, I actually knew them all, and was even anticipating the Cranberries being the answer. With their tanks and their bombs and their guns in your head, they are dying. I would have been able to run two categories, the most I was able to since Mateo Roach's 22nd game. A lot of Watergate questions recently. Sadie got the first daily double. Risk 1,000. She sounded unsure of her wager. She unfortunately answered wrong and went down to $11,400. She got a back-to-back daily double. She was the first player to get a back-to-back daily double since Chris Panulo did right before this tournament began. Twice in a month. And since Sadie first played in season 38, she can technically be added to the list of season 38 players to have gotten a back-to-back daily double, which includes Matt Amodio twice, Jonathan Fisher, Dane Raggard, Amy Schneider, Harsh Daga, and Erica Hosick. When she got the daily double, Ken noticed she looked like her goldfish just died when she got it. She wagered $800, got it right, and was $12,200. Queen Elizabeth II's last appearance was to appoint this woman as the 15th Prime Minister of Her Majesty's reign. Of course, I couldn't avoid this question even if I wanted to. Probably the biggest coincidence in the history of Jeopardy was when this aired, Truss had to step down as Prime Minister. This wasn't even the first time there was unfortunate timing in Jeopardy involving the Queen. Just last month in the second episode of season 39, the final Jeopardy category was British Royal Family, less than a week after the Queen died. The final Jeopardy category was the British Royal Family. What an insane coincidence that this aired the week after Queen Elizabeth II passed away. Maybe it was to commemorate the 25th anniversary of Princess Diana's memorial service. The Jeopardy coincidence is already adding to another historical coincidence. Liz Truss being the last person to see the Queen alive on her first day as Prime Minister. All this taking place days after the 25th anniversary of Princess Diana's memorial service. I had a commemoration video planned for the Queen. Unfortunately, I got sick days later, and I couldn't even try to force myself to edit these videos as I did last time. The other reason I couldn't avoid this question is because Sarah buzzed in and answered wrong. Then no one else buzzed in. How do they not know this? Sadie ended Double Jeopardy winning $13,400. Jeff was in second place at $10,200, and Sarah's unfortunately still in third place at $5,200. I would have loved to see her win. The final Jeopardy category was authors. The question was, when Esquire began as a men's lifestyle magazine in the 1930s, he was asked for manly content and wrote in 28 of the first 33 issues. The answer was Ernest Hemingway. Now, similarly to how I said two categories were easy, fans were saying this final Jeopardy question was easy since they were immediately able to guess it was Ernest Hemingway. Sarah wagered almost everything and went to $10,398. Jeff wagered $2,801 and went to $13,401. Given Megan Law Express's wins, I almost expected to wager $2,802. Before they got to Sadie's answer, Ken told her, no time crunch this time, and you did the first name again. Some fans were suggesting even if Sadie left out the Y, it would have still been phonetically correct. Sadie wagered $7,801 and went to $21,201 and is now a finalist. Everyone was happy for her and celebrated her redemption. I can't say I'm disappointed, though it would have also been a great opportunity to see Sarah win. I'm just too conflicted. Night 2. The contestants consisted of Jack Weller, Alicia O'Hare, Tom Philippos. Ken Jennings' instruction was, now for decades, the rule on Jeopardy has always been one for customer. Contestants play until they lose, whether that's on their first game or their 41st game, and then we have to say goodbye. Except Martha Bath. But this is the competition where all that changes. So far, we've met 12 of our 18 second chance competitors. Today, we welcome Tom, Alicia, and Jack. Ken introduced the game a similar way after Martha Bath won, since she also played 50 years ago. 2 games I would have taken a look at until David Sibley's and Chris Panullo's games got in the way. I'm also surprised Ken said first game or 41st game when he could have also said 75th game. One of the categories was plurals that don't end in S. On Amy Schneider's 40th game, I said the coral reefs was taught in school curriculums, not curricula. The answer is the Great Barrier Reef in Australia. This was taught in science classes in school curriculums. Not too long ago, I remember hearing the Great Barrier Reef losing half of its corals since 1995. I cringe when I remember that. Curriculum. Obviously curricula. If millennium is millennia, then curriculum is curricula, right?
He got both daily doubles.
Jack got all 3 of the daily doubles. Jack got the first daily double, wagered $4,000, got it right, and went to $9,000. Continuing on plurals that don't end in S. Moose. Jack answered, what are meese? Ken laughed and told him, no. Alicia buzzed and answered, what is moose? Before correcting herself to say, what are moose? Of course I couldn't avoid this question even if I wanted to. Technically, what is moose is still correct, because what is moose is the plural. This was posted on social media and included in the Jeopardy highlights.
Jack.
What are meese?
No. No.
On social media specifically, people posted comments saying, moosin'. Moosin'. Of course, Jack was thinking of goose and geese. Moose is moose. So what's the plural for the dessert moose? Is it also just moose? And why is noose nooses? And mongoose mongooses? Tom entered the first round winning $2,400. Alicia was in second place at $6,200, and Jack was in lead at $9,200. Much of Rome's grain came from this large island 300 miles away, so it was a big deal when its slaves revolted in the Servi Wars. The answer was Sicily, which was also the answer on Luigi de Guzman's first game, the season 38 finale. Jack got the first daily double in Jeopardy, wagered $5,000, got it right, and went to $17,000. He got a back-to-back daily double, the second game in a row. Just yesterday, it was Sadie who got a back-to-back daily double. He wagered $3,000, got it right, and went to $20,000 even. Should have gone much further. A quite rude follower of King James II. After no one buzzed in, Ken said, impolite Jacobite, I hate those guys. The audience laughed. Tom in a double Jeopardy winning $10,000 even. Alicia was in second place at $13,000 even, and Jack was in the lead at $26,400. The final Jeopardy category was bodies of water. The question was, the Kattegat and Skagerrak Straits separate these 2 seas. I have never heard of these. I can't even take a guess. My guesses are like Wada and like Mala. Last time, Tom bet it all and went down to 0. This time it was Alicia. Before they got to Jack's answer, Ken told him, Jack Weller, looks like you will not be needing a tiebreaker this time. The answer was Baltic and North Sea. That's correct. These are the straits between Denmark on the south and Norway and Sweden on the north. Jack wagered $100, taking his final score to $26,500, and is now a finalist. Night 3. The contestants consisted of Rowan Ward, Doe Park, Nikki Porcaro. I love that. Ken Jennings' instruction was, today our remaining 3 contestants battle for a spot in the 2-game total point finals match that kicks off tomorrow. We already know that whoever winds up our winner today will be pitted against Sadie Goldberger and Jack Weller in that match, with the winner advancing to our tournament champions. Right away on Monday, they won't get a lot of time off. So much at stake in the next half hour. Nikki got a daily double immediately at the start of the game. The category was quick lit, so Ken told her that was quick after finding it. She risked $1,000. Unfortunately, didn't answer and went down to negative $1,000. The answer was Yorick. I like how Doe thought of his initial Jeopardy game as his one shot when Amy thought that throw her run, all because the lyrics didn't lose yourself. Nikki also brought up therapy. I guess I wouldn't be the only one to talk about Jeopardy and therapy. Cervantes published the first volume of this novel about a delusional hero in 1605. My immediate guess was the Don Quixote, which I knew would be wrong. Now's the time for Don Quixote. This also came up in one of Margaret Shelton's games. Rowan entered the first round in his streak of right answers and was in a strong lead at $9,400. Doe was in second place at $2,000, and Nikki was unfortunately in third place at 0. Rowan got the first daily double, made it a true daily double, got it right, and went to $21,200. Aside from this being the highest true daily double since Chris Panullo's 9th game when Mark wagered $11,600, it looks like we already have a second runaway in a row. Rowan got the second daily double in Double Jeopardy, bet a little more conservatively and did 2,000. Ken exclaimed, "No, come on." The second one lasted from 218 to 201 BC, and at the end, Rome was boss of the Mediterranean. The answer was the Second Punic War. Meanwhile, the answer on Amy Schneider's second game was the Third Punic War. And this is technically Rowan's second game. Rowan answered correctly and was in a strong lead at $22,000 even. Doe and Nikki were tied throughout half the Double Jeopardy round. Rowan had Double Jeopardy winning $26,800. Nikki was in second place at $7,200, and Doe was in third place at $6,800. Alright, I'm a little disappointed just because I was rooting for Doe. He's currently at $6,800, and he was $6,000 behind Amy Schneider by the end of Double Jeopardy last year. Also, as cool as runaway games are, Rowan barely scored more than Jack Dweller yesterday. Here's me clinging on to the chance that Sadie can still emerge as the second winner in the Second Chance tournament. As much as I like runaways, the whole point of the tournament was for all the players to give the potential they had in their initial game, so I'm not as excited when it occurs in this tournament. Don't get me wrong, a contested runaway in this specific tournament does just that. It's just conflicting. The final Jeopardy category was charity. The question was, a Catholic charity called Charitas Rum is the beneficiary of money collected from here, over the years averaging about $3,500 daily. The answer was a Trevi fountain. That's correct. The coins from the Trevi go to the poor and the homeless of Rome. Rowan was the only one to answer correctly. That was the most surprising part of the game. I was at least hoping for Nikki or Doe to better on answer correctly to add suspense. Rowan wagered $10,000 and went to $36,800 and is now a finalist. Monday and Tuesday, Sadie and Jack got a back-to-back daily double. Tuesday and Wednesday, Jack and Rowan made the game a runaway, and their scores were so close before Final Jeopardy. Let's see how all three battle it out.
And as always, thank you for watching.